Hey everyone, hope everything's going well with the social distancing right now. My name is Josh. I'm a CBCSD youth graduate and I'm currently an advisor slash volunteer with a youth group. And I want to share with you guys what I've been learning and what my devotionals have been about recently since all the outbreaks have been happening. And for me recently, I've been reminded by God that we're all called to worship, and I think today's passage that I went through, which is Psalms chapter 98, really reminded me of that a lot. So I'll read us through and then kind of share what I learned from this passage. Psalms chapter 98. Sing to the Lord a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm have worked salvation for him. The Lord has made his salvation known and revealed his righteousness to the nations. He has remembered his love and his faithfulness to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Burst into jubilant song with music. Make music to the Lord with the harp and the sound of singing. With trumpets and the blast of the ram's horn, shout for joy before the Lord the King. Let the sea resound and everything in it, the world and all who live in it. Let the rivers clap their hands, let the mountains sing together for joy. Let them sing before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world in righteousness and the peoples with equity. So for me, this passage, like I said in the beginning, really reminds me that God has called us to worship him. And for me, that's especially apparent in verse 1 and in verse 4, where it starts out, sing to the Lord a new song. Shout for the joy to the Lord, all the earth. It's not really saying if you feel like it or if you want to, but to me, it sounds like it's telling us, do this. And I think in times of trial, especially now where everything's shut down, everyone's at home, and everything's not going according to our plans, it kind of reminds us that God has still commanded us. It doesn't say, sing to the Lord when things are good, or shout for joy when things are good. It says, sing to the Lord. And I think for me, that's something God is teaching me, is just saying, praise me no matter what is going on in your life, no matter what situation you find yourself in. And I think that's also reassuring because God's telling us that we can trust our futures with him. And that kind of, in verse 3, that's what it reminds me of. He has remembered his love and his faithfulness to the house of Israel, where it kind of reassures me that even though things don't seem perfect, things are kind of chaotic, God has promised us his love. He's promised us that he won't abandon us, and that no matter what is going on, whether it be outside circumstances or personal choices, God has always and will always love us, and he's always there for us. Kind of like the prodigal son, where he finds himself in a situation where he strays away, or if we find ourselves straying away during this time of trials, he's still there. So it kind of reassures me knowing that God is a forgiving God, God is a faithful God. And another thing that kind of, I guess, is shows up a lot for me is just how he gives us reasons to worship him, even when there doesn't seem to be a lot of reasons. So for some of you, you might be home, stuck at home with nothing to do. Sports are canceled, can't see friends, and it's hard to see the positive in a lot of these things. But God reminds us that he's already blessed us with so much. He says, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy hand have worked salvation for him. And just kind of reminds us that even when things aren't going as we expected, he still gave us salvation. And he's blessed us with so much. He's blessed us with family, with homes. He's blessed us with technology. And he's telling us, don't forget what I've done just because it's not this world isn't perfect. don't forget that I'm still there for you. Don't forget that I will continue to bless you. So I think for me, this has just been a really big reminder to try to look at the blessings that God has given me and not to overlook him and not to think about, I wish things were better or I wish things were like this, but to trust him with whatever circumstances I face and to trust him with the future. So I hope this helps, and I hope you guys spend some time in Psalms 98 as well. Bye.